Welcome to the Michael Talks Football channel, people. And of course, it is Concacaf time. It is the third round. Which three teams are going to directly qualify from the Concacaf region? Is Jamaica going to finally show up? Are Panama going to resurrect themselves after the Gold Cup exit? What about Costa Rica? What about Honduras? There is so much to discuss when it comes to the third round and specifically for the September window. And of course, I had to bring the number one hater of the Jamaican national team, the number one hater of the Trinidad national team, Jack from Deadpool TV. We're going to have a couple of mini topics before then at the end of the video, I'm going to give myself the predictions. And obviously, Jack, I think he just posted his own CONCACAF predictions for the September window. So go show him love on his channel for the CONCACAF video. My first mini topic, this is a very intriguing debate. And that's why I got Jack on here, is if Jamaica drop points in this window, should Steve Mcclaren be sacked? Now, mind you, people, Jamaica's opponents for this window are away to Bermuda and at home to Trinidad. So if they dare drop points in these two games, I don't think there's anything going to save him. And obviously, me and Jack covering a lot of AFC football, we've seen managers hired and sacked after one window. Hired, sacked the next manager. So this is a recurring thing. And I think now with so much pressure on the Reggae Boys to return to the World Cup, they have to get 6 points here. If they lose one of these two games, I think he's gone. The FA will panic and they will just sack him and just try and salvage anything of this qualifying campaign because they still got to play Curaçao in 2 games. They got to travel away to Curaçao. So I think for Steve Mcclaren, yes, we can talk about talent of this team, specifically the manager. I think he's under a lot of the hot seat after the Gold Cup. We haven't seen consistent performances with Jamaica. I think if they drop points here, his job is done. Do you agree with that? Or do you think now that there's 6 games left, it would be ludicrous to sack him, no matter what?
No, I think he's 100% sacked if they lose either game. I think even 4 points, 50-50 if he keeps his job. This is their easiest window. Mm-hmm. Bermuda away, Trinidad at home. This is their easiest window. If they take 3 or less, they're done, I think.
So it has to be minimum every window 4 points for them to qualify.
Kind of depends if Curaçao fumble the bag. Because Curaçao's, this is an interesting group because it's easily the weakest. I think we can agree of the 3 groups. It's all Caribbean teams. Everybody expects Jamaica. Like they have 90% of the pressure. I think Curaçao have the other 10% of the pressure. They're like the dark horse pick in CONCACAF that everybody loves because they have some good players. And then you have Trinidad, who I think could do something sneaky here. Like if they did finish second, I wouldn't be shocked. But the point is, this window, Jamaica can't be drawn Bermuda. They can't be drawing Trinidad. That at home, at least. I know it's a rivalry game. You can't draw your second match in this round, especially with the group being as already kind of open as it is. I don't know. I don't know if how many Jamaicans want Mcclaren now? Like the window hasn't even started. How many still want Steve Mcclaren right now? 30%?
Maybe less. I think it's going less? Like 5-10% at this moment in time. If it was like a Rotten Tomato rating for Steve Mcclaren with Jamaica right now, it's 5%.
Yeah. Yes, pushing single digits. Yeah, I think he's absolutely cooked. And it would be the right decision. It would be the right decision to sack him.
I do agree that he is under massive pressure here. I mean, if you drop points away to Curaçao, I think that's acceptable. I think that's okay considering the level of Curaçao right now. You going away to Bermuda. Now, shout out to Bermuda for making it to this round, and I talked about it in my CONCACAF predictions video. But this is Jamaica we're talking about here. Yes, we can clown them. We can say they're frauds like I've done on my channel, like Deadball TV has done. But this is Jamaica still. They have a talented group. The objective for them should be qualifying to the World Cup. So anything less than 6 points, I think is a total failure. Absolute fracaso in Spanish if Jamaica do not pick up 6 points. And especially, yes, you can say rivalry game. At least they're at home in Kingston, which is usually a ground they're pretty good at. They just destroyed Guatemala 3-0 before the Gold Cup at home. So Jamaica have the quality. And if they don't get 6 points, I think the FA will panic, and I don't know who they're going to hire then. Who will come to this sinking ship and say, yes, I'll be the guy? Who are they going to get back Tupper Whitmore, who was basically the Jamaican Frank Lampard? I just think it's really dodgy times for Steve Mcclaren. I hope it works out because I want to see Jamaica at the World Cup, but I just don't have any confidence, and especially with these 2 easy layup games, it's minimum 6 points. Nothing else, nothing less.
Are you predicting 6?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay. I predicted 6 in my. I know everybody thinks I hate Jamaica, but I do think they'll win these games.
Yes, they should be beating Bermuda at home. I mean, away. Excuse me. That should be at least. I'm going to say 3-1. At home to Trinidad, I would probably say like maybe a 2-1, 3-1 sort of scoreline as well. Like they still have attacking firepower. This is like a window where you have to look at. Obviously, there's no Leon Bailey because he's injured with AS Roma. So, Damari Gray, you want to show up now? It's been a while. It's been a while for Damari Gray, but I think this is more. This is more on Steve Mcclaren, in my opinion. All right, then my next talking point is: can Panama bounce back after the Gold Cup exit? Because it was kind of like a sad way to go out. Yes, it's penalties, and we know that after 90 minutes, it went straight to penalties against Honduras. But Panama were easily, I don't think there's even a discussion, the best team in the group stage. There's no debate about that. So for the way they went out, it was kind of like a sour note because Honduras, especially in the second half, I thought they were far superior to Panama. And if you look at Panama's games for this window, Suriname away and Guatemala at home, those are two tough fixtures. Obviously, what could have been more difficult would be maybe Guatemala away, because Guatemala away is a pretty tough venue, and maybe Suriname at home. But Suriname, we know they got the talent, and Guatemala are riding on a high here. I'm intrigued to see how Christensen and the squad bounce back, because if you get 4 points, especially in this group, for me, Group A is the most difficult one. If you get 4 points in a window in this group, you're in a good position. Less, if you get a win and a loss, you're good, but that's also you're hampering yourself for the rest of this window. So I think Panama, how will they react is I think they can get a point away to Suriname and get a home win at Guatemala. And I think that's a good window. 4 points. You'll take it if you're Christensen and the team. Obviously, Coco Curaçao being back is a massive, massive plus for them. But what do you think? Do you think it's going to be a bounce back time here for Panama? Do you think they're going to regress, or do you think they're going to falter under the pressure? Because, Panama have always been the nice Cinderella story. Oh, look at cute Panama. They got sick kids. They play good football. Christensen is a god. But now everybody's looking at them. They are the bait for everybody. Everybody's just a shark. Maybe the hammerhead shark for Suriname. Maybe Guatemala are now the great white shark. And they're looking at the bait and Panama and saying, we're going to take you down.
I think the Gold Cup was probably a very humbling experience for Panama. I'm not sure how much of the discourse you saw online, but I think Panama's ego got a bit out of control because they had been on such a good run, and they killed everybody in the group stage. I mean, humiliated Jamaica, who we just spoke about. And I think they actually thought, like, we are God's gift to CONCACAF at the very least. And I think I'm going to take the opinion it was good for them that they lost to Honduras, who is a Central American rival. They were the better team until like minute 70, and then Thomas Christensen changed his midfield, and they got crushed in the final 20 minutes. Honduras probably should have won in like regular time, arguably. Mosquera had a great game for Panama to save them a couple times. But I don't know. They're going to get Carrasquilla back. Their best midfield is Coco Carrasquilla and Christian Martinez. Goldaway is 35 years old and is not even close to as good as Coco, really at anything anymore. He's very slow, not creative at all. I thought he just got bullied by Honduras. These are awesome fixtures. The Suriname-Panama game, I'm going live for this on the channel, is so hype. And I'm very curious. Do you think it's going to be an open end-to-end game, or do you think Suriname's just going to lock it down?
They're going to lock it down. If people, I would say save your time, but I would also want you to go and watch the game with the watch along on Deadball TV. I think it's going to be the exact same thing as Suriname versus Canada. Boring game. Suriname just sit back, and then Canada, I think they won that game 1-0, if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't it 1-0 for Canada? It was terrible game.
Second half.
I remember it was terrible game because Suriname did nothing, and I'm a little bit worried that Suriname are going to take that approach of being the underdog. Oh, we just want to get a point here. It's Panama. It's the big bad Panama. I think if you're Suriname, maybe Panama are a little bit weak here. We don't know how Panama are going to react. Going away to Suriname can be difficult. So, yes, it's a tough game. I just don't think it's going to be an open game. I would be shocked if there's more than 2 goals. I think it's going to be like a 1-1, 1-0 sort of game for either side.
Yeah. In my prediction, I said either it's a 1-0 or Panama wins 3-2 because we get some like early goals and they have to open up. But yeah, I think it's going to be a slog. I don't know. That's the thing with Suriname. It's like they could do more, but I just think their coach is too conservative and it's going to be kind of boring.
What about the Guatemala at home? That should be a guaranteed 3 points. Has to be.
It has to be. I mean, Guatemala are good, but Panama really overpowered them at the Gold Cup. I know it was 1-0, and I actually thought Guatemala defensively were okay, but offensively they had nothing the entire match. And that was without Coco Carrasquilla. Fajardo missed the tournament, the starting striker for Panama. Though I'm pretty sure both of them will be back. I don't think Panama have any major injuries.
Not that I've seen, no.
And it was also, a home game for Guatemala. So this is going to be the opposite. I think Guatemala is going to put up a fight, but I do think Panama take it 3-1, 2-1, something like that.
So we think that 4 points would be a good bounce back window for Panama after the exit.
I think they should be aiming for 6, personally.
Yes, I agree. As easily, 4th or 5th best team in CONCACAF, wherever people want to debate, your objective should be every window 6 points. It doesn't matter the environment. It doesn't matter if you're playing home or away. I think if you're Panama and Costa Rica, every window should be, we got to get 6 points here. We just got to get easily to the World Cup. No frustration, no drama. Let's just keep it drama-free for once. Stamp their authority once again. People are kind of clowning them and saying, oh, look at all the hype they got. It wasn't justified. I think they will bounce back in this window and have a good window. And then let's see for the rest of the window, because they should be qualifying for the World Cup. If Panama don't qualify for the World Cup, that kit I bought last year might go straight to the Basura. Sorry to my Panamanians.
That would be such a stain on Christensen's legacy with the team.
Yes.
And the whole, they're overhyped, to me, is just ridiculous. I mean, they're only overhyped if you think they're the best team in CONCACAF. They barely ever lose to anyone outside of the big 3. And they beat the U.S., 3 times in a row now?
Yep, 3 times.
Jamaica's not beating the U.S. 3 times in a row. Canada's not, I think Canada's on a 2-match streak right now. What about Costa Rica? They haven't beat the United States 3 times in a row. Honduras, they only get up from Mexico.
And twice in the States.
So it's just twice in the States. It's just a ridiculous narrative. The pressure is completely on Panama, but they've done a really good job up to this point of just kind of slaughtering the mid-tier CONCACAF teams.
Yes.
And I hope that continues, not because I don't want the other CONCACAF teams to be good. I want Guatemala. If they somehow made it to the World Cup, I'm in. That would be sick. The home support would be next level. But I'm going to back Panama until they fall off. Getting knocked out on pens isn't enough to be it was all a lie. That's ridiculous.
It's just all fugazi at that point in time. But I think Panama will have a good bounce back window here. Then this is going to be an interesting topic. Which player needs a good window? Now, this can just be personally the player himself that he needs a good window, or this player needs to have a good window in order for his national team to do well. Who do you have as a player that needs to step up or needs a good window?
All right, you want the hipster one, or do you want the more common knowledge, colder take first?
Nah, the hipster. This is a hipster channel.
Okay, this is right. This is Michael Talks Football. Duckins Nazone with Haiti. Big window.
Oh.
My brother laid a goose egg at the Gold Cup. Not only did he not score or assist, he was terrible in every single game. This guy, I don't know if you know his all-time stats. He's pushing 50 goals for Haiti in 70 games. He is a prolific scorer. Him and Perot up top are one of the best strike forces in CONCACAF. It's the CONCACAF version of Sardar Azmoun and Meni Taremi, but they were terrible. Both of Perot was actually solid at the Gold Cup.
Perot was pretty solid at the Gold Cup, I thought. He was always a threat.
Yeah. He was the only attacker. I mean, and Duckins Nazone is kind of more of the creator of the two of them. They have, I believe, Costa Rica away, which they're not getting a damn thing from that game if Nazone doesn't ball out. And I think their other game is Honduras at home. It's going to be in Curaçao. Those are really tough. Costa Rica away and Honduras in a neutral venue. Now, if they're going to get something here, which I think they can, and I can't believe I'm saying that because they let me down hard at the Gold Cup, Nazone's got to ball out.
So I'll give a hipster pick as well. Maybe nobody was going to see this one coming through. I'm going to go for Jaime Moreno from Nicaragua with my pick because
you're right. Nobody was going to go with that.
Nobody was going to go for a Nicaraguan player, but I have seen this guy play so much in Finland, and this guy is an unbelievable striker. Now, when I look at the national team, They have nobody else. And I mean,
No.
nobody else that I can say, yeah, he could be a starter for like a Honduras or a starter for like maybe Costa Rica or a starter for this guy. Jaime Moreno is the only one. Now, people will poo-poo the idea because now he plays in Indonesia, I think, at the moment. But Jaime Moreno, if they want to do anything in this round, which I don't think they will, I think I predicted them to get like max 4 to 3 points. He has to get at least 1 or 2 goals in this window for his national team. This is not personally, because personally he is a good striker, but just for the national team of Nicaragua, if they want to do anything in this round, and their 2 games are Costa Rica at home and Honduras away. I mean, Godspeed to the national team. They need Jaime Moreno to ball out. If he doesn't ball out, they don't have a prayer. They're not scoring any goals whatsoever.
But I'm gonna go with Oscar Santis from Guatemala. I think
Good shout.
they're gonna need at least 1 goal from him in this window. You could go with Rubio Ruben as well up top. Pretty much Guatemala's attack needs to have a good game, or a good window, I should say. El Salvador at home, they should be okay, even if Santis doesn't ball out. But visiting Panama, they don't take anything from Panama unless Santis gets a goal, in my opinion.
Guatemala were such a high-octane team when they had possession of the ball. Because, like the Panama game, they just sat back and defended in a low block. But when they were playing like toe-to-toe, like the USA in the semifinals, Oscar Santis was all over the field. So if they want to have any prayer, because I predicted in my third-round predictions, I didn't think Guatemala were going to make the Intercontinental Playoff. If they want to make it, he needs the ball out. Because they're going to need minimum 10 to 11 points to make it to the Intercontinental Playoff. And
yes,
Oscar Santis has to be a big player for that. I'll make one more pick, and then we'll go to the final topic. My last pick is kind of like just a home run. It's Geraldo Becker with Suriname. Because now he returns. Now he returns to the national team for this window. If he doesn't ball out, I don't trust anybody else on Suriname. Nobody else. That's the only guy where I can say he can score for Suriname. Because we kind of discussed that. Yes, Suriname have a good defense, pretty decent midfield. I don't see anybody else in the forward line and saying, that guy's going to give me confidence. Geraldo Becker, if Suriname want to upset, Costa Rica, Panama in this window, he has to ball out. And he needs to score. Now, his club form is non-existent. So that's kind of like hesitant about, okay, can he perform for the national team? But if Geraldo Becker can have a good window, Suriname can upset Panama.
Dude, I would say that Suriname's attack is actually pretty stacked. If they could somehow field
but they didn't perform at all
Kirk,
at the Gold Cup.
I thought Garano Kirk was good, and I thought I don't know if it's Margaret or Margaret. I don't know how you pronounce his name, from Go Ahead Eagles. Like, the guy's pretty saucy as well. Throw in Geraldo Becker into that mix. You got to get goals. If they finish with 1 goal scored in this window, I'll be pissed. That's way too much talent for 1 freaking goal in this window. Margaret was my other super dark hipster pick of a player who needs to cook.
That's the only guy I can really trust in that forward line. Because, they played some decent football, I thought, at the Gold Cup. But just they only scored against who? Costa Rica, when it was a crazy game. Yeah. You couldn't score against Dominican Republic. Then I think they always have like these 1-0 victories against the sort of mid-tier teams in CONCACAF. You need Becker just to get you at least that.
That's why I think it's the coach, dude. Because you can't tell me that nobody else could give me more goals with this lineup. Do you think they're more talented than Guatemala?
I mean, on paper, yes.
Yeah. But meanwhile, what happens when you go to Guatemala City? They're scoring 3-4 goals per game. So where is it for Suriname?
Yeah, you could definitely talk about the coaching for them, but also I think the players, they have to show up. Which Pot 2 team is least likely to earn 3 points this window? Now, if people don't know, the Pot 2 teams for the third round were El Salvador, Honduras, and Curaçao. Now, I'm going to give you the fixtures for all 3 teams. El Salvador are going away to Guatemala and hosting Suriname. And Curaçao are going away to Trinidad and hosting Bermuda. And Honduras are going away to Haiti, neutral venue, and hosting Nicaragua. So, judging by those fixtures and the way I saw at the Gold Cup, sorry to all my El Salvadorians, it is not looking good for you guys. They might just be the whooping boys of Group A, which sucks, because if you told me like in 2022 World Cup qualifiers where El Salvador were actually a pretty decent team, now it's like nothing. Do you know how, I actually had to check the stats. You know how many touches they had in the opposition box in the entire Gold Cup? Just touches.
13.
Oh, I think it was like 18, 19 touches in the opposition box in 3 games. People,
Terrible.
3 games. It was terrible from El Salvador. I think they had an expected XG of like 0.8 or 0.9 in 3 games. So Godspeed to all my El Salvadorians. I don't think you're going to get 3 points, and they're probably the easy pick here for least likely to get 3 points, unless you have a crazy take.
No, it's definitely the easy choice here. I mean, they're the least talented of the 3 teams. I think they have the worst home field advantage of the 3 teams. They were awful at the Gold Cup. Curaçao, many people thought they were a bit unlucky to not progress from the group. Honduras make the semifinals. Honduras at home is always scary, and like they have a really good midfield and attack as well. So it's obviously El Salvador. They're not a good football team. They've gotten significantly worse, I would say, every year since like 2020. This decade has been very harsh to El Salvador. And I don't really know what the way back is. They got Brian Gil, who's in Russia now, and he's doing okay. But is that enough? I mean, these are hard games, man. Suriname visiting El Salvador, that's not a guaranteed point even for El Salvador, much less a win. Curaçao got Bermuda at home. I mean, God forbid they don't win that game.
Which team is most likely to get 6 points out of these 3 teams?
Give me Honduras. I think they can beat Haiti in a neutral venue.
Oof.
I have them winning 2-1, actually.
Oh, that would be a good window for Honduras if they get 6 points. I actually am tempted to go with Curaçao getting more points than Honduras. I think
Trinidad away from me, man. It scares me.
It's Trinidad away. I mean, it's a guaranteed 3 points against Bermuda. I mean, if it isn't, then yeah, the hype train for Curaçao is absolutely dead at that point. It's just Trinidad are so bad defensively. I mean, so bad. If they could fix defensively, okay, yeah, Trinidad could be a decent team going forward because I've got to see up front. But overall, Trinidad are just not a good team. It's just more about how does Dick Advocat then kind of approach that game. If he's too safe, okay, yeah, then Trinidad can get a point. I think Curaçao can easily get 3 points there too. So I think they're most likely to get 6 points. I look at Haiti as a much stronger opponent to Honduras than Trinidad to Curaçao.
I would agree with that. I just think Honduras are better at scoring goals. Curaçao are weird, man. They either put up 5 in a game, like they beat Haiti 5-1 right before the Gold Cup. But then in other games, they're like, they create good chances. They don't have a 9. Not that Honduras really have a 9 either, but I think they have better goal-scoring wings. Like, Curaçao's best players are midfielders, like all of them. Midfielders, maybe CBs. They don't really have that guy who you can just cross it to in the box and he, gets you 2 goals in a game. That's my one. I mean, it's like I put Honduras here and like Curaçao, like
Curaçao
right
there.
here.
And then El Salvador.
Yeah. I mean, if it's like which one of these teams would I pick to have the fewest losses when this round is complete, I would say it's Curaçao. I think they're harder to beat than Honduras. Honduras play down all the time as well. They lose their heads.
Now we've gotten to the predictions part of the video. It's going to be very quick, not super analysis on this because I'd rather talk about the games than give me predictions. So first, with Group A, Suriname and Panama, I think this is going to be a difficult game to predict because it depends on Suriname, really. I know with Panama, they're going to bounce back. They're going to be a hungry team after the Gold Cup exit. And now with Concacaf back, I think that's going to give them a huge boost. Now it's down to Suriname. What do you want to prove? How can they can defend well as a unit, but who's going to be that goal scorer? How can they control the game? They cannot have the same approach like they did against Canada and just be, oh, we feel bad for ourselves. We're just going to be defensively solid and not try and push for a goal. I don't think Suriname can do that in this game. I think Panama will bounce back. I don't think it's going to be a pretty game at all. I'm going to go 1-0 for Panama. Guatemala, El Salvador. This should be an easy win for Guatemala considering that El Salvador don't have any threat going forward. Guatemala at home, you expect them to get 3 points here and they're going to continue their fabulous rise that they've had. And I'm going to go 3-0 for Guatemala. Then El Salvador and Suriname. Now, Suriname, you lose the game against Panama. This is a must win. You cannot go away to El Salvador, which we have discussed many times, being the worst team in Group A and lay a goose egg. This has to be 3 points. But to be honest, I think this is going to be 1-1. I think this is a game where Suriname are going to be favorites, but El Salvador are still a good home team, and you have to respect it. So I'm going to go 1-1 in this affair. And Panama and Guatemala, while Guatemala have been on the rise they have had some good momentum heading into this game, Panama are at home. And Panama at home are a dangerous team. With that crowd, the atmosphere. I think they will rise to the occasion. I think Guatemala will kind of just be super defensive, kind of like in the Gold Cup. I'm going to go Panama winning 2-0. Group B then for this window, Bermuda, Jamaica. I mean, if this is anything less than Jamaica win, liquidate the FA and sack Steve Mcclaren ASAP on the spot. Bermuda, very wonderful story that they reached to this round, but Jamaica should be winning this game. I'm going 2-0 for Jamaica. Trinidad and Curaçao. Now, I don't know if this is going to be high scoring or if it's going to be a bore fest. It can go either way. It can be like a 2-2, it can be a 2-1 win for Trinidad. It could be like a 3-1 win for Curaçao. You don't know what Curaçao to expect, and you don't know which defense is going to show up for Trinidad on the day. I'm expecting a high-scoring affair. I'm actually going to go 3-2 for Curaçao. I think this will actually be the best game of the window. That's not a slouch on Trinidad, but Curaçao, yes, they don't have a lot of goal scorers on their team, but if the forwards show up, they can score. And Trinidad's defense is still not good enough. I don't have any confidence in them, so I'm going to go 3-2 for Curaçao. Jamaica, Trinidad, rivalry game. Should be a little bit of a hotly contested affair. No Leon Bailey for Jamaica, so who can get the goals? Damari Gray has to step up in this window for me. Can Trinidad be a bit better defensively? Maybe Dwight York will be a little bit more safe with his tactical setup. I don't think this is going to be a great game. I'm going to go 1-0 for Jamaica. And then Curaçao hosting Bermuda. This has to be nothing less than a win for Curaçao. Yes, Bermuda will be tough to break down, but at the end of the day, Curaçao will get the win. I'm going to go 2-0 for Curaçao, and they get their campaign off with 6 points. Then finally, the last group, Group C, Haiti and Honduras. Neutral venue for this matchup. Honduras, can they continue the momentum? I know they have a good defense, good midfield, but still, I'm looking at the attacking the line. I'm like, can they show up the forwards? If the forwards show up, Honduras will win this game. If the forwards don't show up, I think that's where they can drop points. I get it. It's neutral venue. You don't expect Haiti to show up, but Haiti have some dangerous players on their team. And I'm going to go with a 1-1 in this game. I think this is where Honduras slip up. I think when Honduras then hosts Haiti, they will get the victory there. So I'm going to go 1-1. Nicaragua against Costa Rica. Costa Rica should be getting the victory here. I know it's away from home, but still, Costa Rica and Miguel Herrera should be picking up 3 points here. I'm going to go 2-0 in that game. Costa Rica hosting Haiti. We know Costa Rica are an unbelievable side at home, and this will be another 2-0 victory for them. And then Honduras hosting Nicaragua. Now, look, Honduras away from home, maybe not the most strongest of teams. At home, they gotta get this victory. They will get it in convincing fashion. I'm gonna go 3-0 for Honduras. So there's the preview and prediction for the Concacaf September window. Let me know your predictions in the comments down below. Do you think Jamaica will pick up 6 points? Do you think Curaçao will pick up 6 points? What about Honduras? What about Haiti? What about Suriname? Can they show up Guatemala? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you love Concacaf football, remember to subscribe to the channel because we'll be covering the September window, October window, November window. We'll be talking about intercontinental playoffs. All that sort of content is coming here on the channel in the future. And remember to follow me on all the socials, Instagram, Twitter, join the Discord, all those links, description down below. But have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. Till next time. Adios.